Greetings, fellow humans, and welcome to the Renaissance Yorkshireman podcast. Today's topic is getting started with lucid dreaming. Now, what is lucid dreaming and why would anyone bother doing it, I hear you ask? Well, in answer to the first question, lucid dreaming is becoming aware that you're dreaming while you are dreaming. So you're in a dream, you're asleep, and for whatever reason you realise you're dreaming, and then maybe you start flying or doing something else, things that we can do in dreams but not in real life. The second question, why would anyone bother doing it? Well, I've been asked this question a number of times because I used to have quite a strong lucid dreaming practice, and my first answer to that is, well, why wouldn't you do it? You spend about a third of your life asleep, and lucid dreaming is a real thing. It's another state of consciousness that humans can experiment with, so why wouldn't you? The second reason is that actually you can practice skills during the lucid dream state. So I once read an example where someone attended a tennis camp for a month or so during the summer, was an absolutely average tennis player, but then started practicing tennis shots while in the lucid dream state, and to the surprise of all the coaches there, ended up winning the tournament. So you can use it to practice skills that you do in your waking life. And a third possible answer is that if you're interested in any kind of Jungian shadow work, then often working with dreams and things that happen in your dreams is one way of doing Jungian shadow work, but I'm not going to talk about that today. I'll make another video about that in the future. Before we get started with the nitty-gritty, I would recommend one of these books, Lucid Dreaming Plain and Simple by Robert Waggoner and Caroline McCready, or this book, which is not actually called Lucid Dreaming Guide for Dummies. The cover came off and my daughter helpfully recovered it for me. It's actually called Exploring the World of Lucid Dreaming by Stephen LeBurge and Howard Reingold. So they're the two books that I would recommend if you want some kind of reference to get started. To begin with, what you will need is two things. You will need some kind of journal and a pen. So, I'm going to show you some of my examples of journals. Now, this is my daily gratitude journal, and this is my dream diary. As you can see, the dream diary is bigger. And here I have another dream diary, which is even bigger than that one. So, I would recommend something quite big. A4 size, for example. Then, I would recommend a pen with 4 colours on it. There's a reason for that. In the morning, when you wake up, write down your dreams. You're going to use blue to write down your dreams. If you become lucid in the dream, you change to green and carry on writing in green. And if you lose lucidity, you go back to blue. Later on, if you're analysing it or you want to write some kind of feedback, like you've seen a particular sign has come up on a number of times, you can write any commentary in black. And also you're going to be looking for dream signs, which I'll explain in a moment, and you can use the red to underline dream signs in your dream when you're analysing it later on. So that's what you need to get started with. A journal and a pen, and when you go to sleep, switch off your phone. What you're going to do is you set yourself a task over a period of 1 month. And your task is going to be to record at least 12 dreams over the period of 1 month. And then you're going to analyse them for dream signs. There are 4 dream signs that we're looking for. The first is inner awareness, the second is action, the third is form, the fourth is context. So pretty much anything strange that happens to you in your dream will fall into one of these 4 categories. So for example, inner awareness, this is any kind of thought, feeling, emotion, or perception. So it might be that you get some really strong feeling of fear or of love or something like that. That is an inner awareness sign. Or it could be that your perception is altered. Things are going in and out of focus, or they're changing colours. It looks like you've taken acid or magic mushrooms. That's an inner awareness sign. The second, an action sign. You're driving a car, it goes into a river and it goes down the river. Now, obviously, normally if you were in a car and it went in a river, it would sink. So that's an action sign. Or perhaps you're cycling a unicycle home from work, and let's face it, most of us don't normally go to work on a unicycle, so this would be an action sign. A form sign, something to do with you or a dream character that you encounter changes or looks strange in some way. So for example, you might be dreaming that you're a man, but actually you're a woman. So that's a form dream sign. You might dream that you have a moustache when you don't have a moustache. Or you meet your aunt in a dream and she has pink hair or orange hair. Or you meet Barack Obama and he's dressed as a clown. Now that's a form sign because it's clothes. So anything to do with appearance, hair, clothes is a form dream sign. And finally, there are context dream signs. So in my own case, something that I found used to occur with me quite a lot was that I would be walking down a street in one city and then I would turn a corner and I would be in a different city. So for example, I went to the University of Portsmouth in the south of England and I used to live in Bangkok. So sometimes in my dreams, I would be walking down a street in Portsmouth, I would turn the corner and I would be in a street in Bangkok. Now, obviously, this is a context dream sign because you don't change cities when you're awake. This can only happen when you're dreaming. So your task, record at least a dozen dreams. Then at some point later on, you're going to go through and count up all the dream signs. What will probably happen is that you will have more of a particular kind than other kinds. And what you're going to do is you're going to see which are the most common dream signs, and then you're going to use those later to become lucid in the dreams. How can we become lucid in the dream? Well, we use what is called a reality test. So for example, something that I've used in the past is to jump up. Now, if you jump up, you go back down because of gravity. Now, if you're dreaming, often you will jump up and you'll start floating. Now, if you jump up and you start floating, you know that you are dreaming because that doesn't happen in waking life because of gravity. And the main reality test that I use is called the modified Castaneda technique from Carlos Castaneda's Don Juan books. And it's very simple. It involves looking at your hands. Now, I look at both sides of my hands. They're not doing anything strange. I come to the conclusion that I am awake and not dreaming. And then I think to myself, but what would it be like if I were dreaming? Now, in my case, whenever I'm dreaming and I look at my hands, they're always doing something strange. So I might have 6 fingers, or they're moving really fast and they look quite blurry. So I know that I'm dreaming when I see my hands doing something strange. Part of this practice, this reality test, sometimes you do it while you're awake, but you're also trying to do it while you're asleep. And the results should be different from when you're awake to if you're asleep. Now, I'll talk more about reality testing in future videos because this is just to get started. Next, goal setting. Goal setting, there's lots of research being done on goal setting and it improves performance. Lucid dreaming is a skill, like anything else. We all have skills and we all remember a time before we had those skills. Lucid dreaming is the same. There are techniques that you can use to improve yourself, and if you practice, you will get better. So we need to set ourselves some goals. And there are rules about setting goals that make them more effective. So in the first instance, set explicit, specific and numerical goals. So for example, to record at least 12 dreams in a month and to analyse them and to have one lucid dream during that month. That could be your goals for the first month. The second point about goal setting is that they should be difficult but realistic. The third point is we need short-term and long-term goals. Now, I would recommend 1 month, 3 months, 6 months goals, or maybe 1 month, 3 month, 1 year goals. And the last point is you have to record and evaluate your progress, because if you're not going to evaluate your progress, then it's not much use in setting goals. Thank you for watching. In the future, I will make some more videos on lucid dreaming going into different aspects, but this was just an introduction for beginners. Thanks for watching.